Boise. We're ready to get going. This Big Sky semifinal brought to you on 11 Sports Network as well as Pluto TV. And it's on. Wildcats control the ball to start the game, and we are underway. The Big Sky semifinals in Boise, Idaho.
Got an interesting matchup before we even get started. Michael Ogine jumping center against 6'9" Zach Braxton. Ogine 6'1".
Braxton, backside block by Bobby Moorhead. Wildcats keep it alive. Montana recovers.
Another interesting matchup just after one possession. Bobby Moorhead, who is really a small forward, matching up against big Zach Braxton, a very, very small Montana team.
Shot away, and the Grizz on the board.
Michael Ogine, second team All-League, the MVP of the Big Sky tournament last year. Montana escaped last year in this semifinal game against Northern Colorado, then to go on to win the conference tournament.
Chapman, kick out. John able to recover. Rises for a 15-footer off the front of the iron. John again, this time goes inside, blocked out of bounds.
Well, John, Weber State was probably the biggest and most talented front line in the league at Burkott Chapman at 6'8", Zach Braxton at 6'9". Montana is countering today with 4 guards and Bobby Moorhead at 6'7", playing center.
Inside to Braxton. Braxton throws it down.
And Bobby Moorhead just made a mistake post defense there. He's going to have to either get in front of Braxton or behind him and not be in between like he just tried, or Braxton is going to have a huge night.
Inside to Pritchett, lays it up and in.
Great passing, great ball handling is one of the calling cards of this Montana Grizzly team. 21 assists yesterday, 22 assists in their last regular season game.
Chapman for 3, that's off the mark.
Chapman 3 for 3 from the three-point line yesterday, but they were all uncontested. One of them came out of the post and a couple off drawn kicks. That was a contested three-point shot.
Pritchett for 3, bang! 7-2 start for the Grizzlies, Joe.
Saeed Pritchett just went over 1,000 points in their last game before the conference tournament. First team All-League. 2 other guys on his team, Ogine second team and Rory first team.
Chapman for 3, that's off the back of the iron. Tipped out of play and the Grizz control it early.
Montana won both regular season games this year, John, but both of them were close. The last one in Ogden, 83-80. In Montana, 75-68. So both of them very hotly contested.
Taking a look at Travis DeCure, hoping to get the Grizzlies back to the NCAA tournament for the second consecutive season. Former Montana Grizzly in his own right.
Travis DeCure in his 5th year, 4 20-win seasons. Also played for Montana State under Blaine Taylor.
Bang! Ball on the floor, and Ahmad Rory turns it into a 3 as the Grizz take an 8-point lead.
Grizz is starting off exactly the way they did yesterday against Sacramento State, really quick out of the gates.
Foul called on the floor.
And it's really interesting, if you're watching the game, the Grizzlies are playing the epitome of small ball. Bobby Moorhead has been their starting small forward in past years, and everyone else on the floor are guards.
Harding isolates on the baseline, yes.
Derek Harding can fall out of bed and score double-digit figures. He is an uncanny scorer, and when he's going left to his strong hand, that's when he's at his best.
Tipped out of bounds, nice play by Braxton. We knew coming into this game, Joe, that the Grizzlies, missing a guy like Jamar Akoh, that they would need to come up with something to combat Weber State's size.
I think you got to give Travis DeCure a whole lot of credit when big Jamar Akoh, 6'8", 250, every bit as big as Zach Braxton went out, he changed his whole team around. He started spreading the floor and again playing small ball and doing it quite well.
Dorsey comes in for Montana, checks in with 15 on the shot clock, backside. Dorsey tied up, lays it up and in off the glass.
The Grizzlies putting on a clinic right now in screen and roll basketball. Weber State may have to go to a little zone just to give them a little different look. Randy Ray doesn't play much zone, doesn't like to play zone, but they're not having much success in their man-to-man right now.
Kick out to Barnes, lost it on the floor. Harding gonna jump it from three. That's off the mark. Loose ball on the floor.
But Montana's defense has really sped Weber State up.
Tipped out of bounds, and ball will stay with the Grizzlies. Montana off to a fast start. The Grizz with the 12-4 lead in semifinal number 1. We're back to Boise in a moment on 11 Sports.
One, two, three.
All this month.
5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, but it very much reminds me of how the Portland State-Weber State game started yesterday. Look for Weber State now to settle in, get their legs under them. Montana, before long, is going to start missing a couple shots. I don't believe they're going to shoot 100% for the next 35 minutes.
Six on the shot clock. Manuel guarded by John. Loses the ball and Braxton gets it.
And Montana's first turnover, in fact, the first turnover of the game.
John inside, lays it off the glass, but he's fouled on the baseline.
Foul on Saeed Pritchard, the undersized post guy who uses that to his advantage. When they played in Ogden just a couple weeks ago, he had 29 points and 16 rebounds, both career highs.
John hits the first free throw.
Cody John coming off a nice game yesterday against Portland State, 17 points, 1 assist, and more important than any of those stats, no turnovers. Weber State only committing 11 turnovers against that full court athletic defense pressure that Portland State brought for 40 minutes. Weber State came out yesterday and dominated the second half defensively against Portland State.
John misses his second free throw as Michael Kozak comes in for the Wildcats. Weber State coming into the tournament at 17 and 14.
Kozak played really well off the bench for the Wildcats yesterday. He's a kid that started all of last year and gave them a great game as their sixth man yesterday.
Three-pointer off the mark. Chapman with the rebound. Barnes going to take it with 24 on the shot clock, and the Wildcats get set. Harding over to Chapman.
Great matchup of first-team guards, Ahmad Rory on Jarrett Harding.
Harding, kick out into the corner. Nothing but air for Barnes.
And that is what, as a coach, I used to call a DNDI, did not draw iron.
Big three on the other side for Ahmad Rory. Grizzlies take a double-digit lead, 15-5.
Ahmad Rory, 2 times first-team All-Big Sky, over 15 points in both he and Ogine's career, and over 1,000 for Pritchard.
Bobby Moorhead picks Cody John's pocket. Up ahead to Ogine, who lays it in. Timeout on the floor, Randy Ray. The Grizz on a run, Joe, as Weber State hasn't picked up a field goal in the last 2:43.
And one thing we
defend their Big Sky Conference regular season title and then tournament title from a year ago. Kozak out top for Weber State. Hands off to Harding. Harding gonna go inside. Kick out to John, top of the three-point line. Kozak works inside with 11 on the shot clock, lay it up and in.
Nice up and under move by the big sophomore, Kozak, who had a double-double yesterday, 10 and 10.
Ogine matched out top with John. Sent it in the corner to Rory. Rory steps back.
is Rory's best offensive weapon. A couple dribbles to a pull-up from about 15 to 17 feet. He drilled about 3 of those right in a row in yesterday's game.
Free throw jumper for Harding is taken away by Moorhead.
And the last 2 plays by Jarek Harding have all been going to his right. He is phenomenal going to his right or his left and struggles a little bit going to his right.
Moorhead's sweatband came down. He lost handle of the ball. However, step back, count it for Pritchett. Make that Rory.
That's that great intermediate shot that I talked about with Rory. He's okay from deep, but he is nails from about 15 to 17 and just silky smooth with his release. The transfer from Oregon, the only kid in the history of Montana basketball to score over 1,500 points in just 3 years.
Converts the three-point play as the Grizzlies now up 22-7.
I still say Weber State is going to settle in and make a comeback. I just don't think the Grizzlies can stay this hot.
Chapman out top, drives inside, crossover off the glass, yes.
That's one of the best finishes I've seen out of that kid. He normally likes to shoot it up from 3 or a straight line drive. That was a nice behind the back move, change of pace, change of direction.
Ogine sets it out top to Falls with 13 on the shot clock. Pritchett fouled as he drove. So again, a hot start for Montana. They lead 22-9 in this Big Sky semifinal, trying to get into a 6 o'clock championship matchup on Saturday night. Back in a moment to Boise on 11.
One, two, three.
All this month, Pluto TV Movies.
Chapman, which is a break for the Wildcats because that would have been Chapman's second foul. Ahmad Rory for the Grizzlies, 4 of 4, 2 of 2 from the three-point line with 11 points here in the first 11 minutes.
Moorhead for 3, but an offensive rebound for Montana.
You touch the ball that way. You touch the ball while you're out of bounds that way.
And I'm not even going to make a call on what happened there. I think everybody got it.
Well, the ball goes back to the Grizzlies. At the end of the day, I'm not sure what the call was.
Falls out top with 20 on the shot clock to Moorhead. Moorhead working against Kozak. Under 11 and a half to play in the first half. Moorhead goes up, fouled as he goes.
And the Wildcats playing pretty small now with Zach Braxton out of the lineup. Michael Kozak and Brakat Chapman, they're 2 inside guys. While Montana still continues to play with Bobby Moorhead at 6'7" as their post, and Saeed Pritchard 6'5", their power forward. Bobby Moorhead today is game number 132, which ties Fabian Krislovic for the most games ever played by Montana Grizzly. Bobby Moorhead last year probably hit the biggest shot of his 4-year career, a big 3 in the semifinal game against Northern Colorado. In that come from behind, unbelievable come from behind game that got them in the finals, and they went on to win the conference tournament last year.
Yeah, it was a great run for the Grizzlies throughout that 2018 conference tournament. Ended up taking Michigan. Played the Wolverines fairly tough in that NCAA tournament first round. Loose ball foul on Weber State.
Michael Kozak on a rebounding foul. Weber having a hard time getting a clean look there. Cody John having to shoot a runner because, boy, the Grizzlies are playing lights out. Timmy Falls going out of the game now. Coach DeCure calls him his best on-the-ball defender. He was on Cody John at that time. Cody John, no clean look whatsoever.
Falls will start the offense out top. Ogine trying to work it inside to Pritchett on the baseline. Dribbles in the paint.
Nice defense by Chapman there on Saeed Pritchard.
Good help defense by Kozak. Gives it over on the other side, but a beautiful block.
Big time quickness, big time athleticism by Saeed Pritchard. As I said, the Grizzlies with 3 guys on the floor that scored over 1,000 points, 2 of them over 1,500. And what Travis DeCuire has done this year is done a great job of developing his bench, and he comes off his bench with guys who can score points, not just role-type players.
Ball tipped away. John recovers with 17 on the shot clock. Baseline, Chapman working against Pritchett. Jumps from 15. That's off the mark, but Kozak with the rebound, and he's fouled in the process.
I tell you what, when that ball goes up on the glass or toward the basket in this game, John, you better bring a lunch and a lantern, because it's a man's work inside there. There are bodies flying and people making contact. You better not be too faint of heart if you're going to get a rebound in this game.
Kozak with the spin inside, puts it up and in.
Kozak once again giving the Wildcats big and productive minutes off the bench as they continue to play without Zach Braxton.
(24-11) Montana with the lead as we're under 10 to play in the first half on 11 Sports. Semifinal number 1 of the Big Sky Conference Tournament. Pritchett spin back. Nice move by Chapman as he was able to get the block.
Scott Chapman, one of the top 3 shot blockers in the league, led the league for a long time and then fell to about number 3.
Bang, Kozak from 3. The big man hitting it from NBA range.
And as I predicted, here comes Weber. Just like yesterday's game, it took them a little while to get their legs under them to kind of survive that first storm, but here they come.
Kozak's on a personal 5-0 run.
Michael Kozak, a double-double yesterday, 10 and 10, a kid that started 31 of 32 games for the Wildcats last year as a freshman, a 6'8", 220-pound sophomore from Czech Republic. That's just north of Indiana, isn't it, John?
I think, yeah, neighboring.
Okay.
Not too far of a drive from Scottsburg.
I think I drove through there one night on my way home from happy hour.
We got some happy hour hoops for you tonight on 11 Sports.
Zach Braxton back in now, and Chapman gets a blow as Kozak stays in the game.
Moorhead for 3, that's off the mark. You notice, Joe, over the last couple of minutes, Montana's shots further and further away. Falls, throws it down.
Timmy Falls in his last regular season game had 4 steals, 5 assists, and 16 points for the Grizzlies.
Kozak saves a pass, spins inside, kicks it out. John gonna set from 2, that's off the mark. Kozak thought he had the rebound, instead Montana wins it. Ogine turns on the Jets.
And Michael Ogine at 6'2" is the leading rebounder on this Grizzly team.
Call a goaltend on Braxton as he came in from the blind side. Take another look at Falls. The two-handed put down with authority.
As frenetic a pace as this has been, John, both teams with only 2 turnovers apiece. So it's actually been pretty well played, really well played by Montana, who's shooting 68%, 11 for 16. The Wildcats 6 for 18 at 33%.
Under 8 to play in the first half. John dribbled it out of bounds. Things not going Weber's way as Montana on their way out to a big lead. The Grizz lead 28-14.
Only 2 turnovers, but playing with unparalleled energy and enthusiasm right now.
Rory dribbles it across midcourt. Moorhead guarded tightly by Chapman.
Trying to go back to Rory, who's had the hot hand. That was a little ISO for Rory that the Wildcats did a nice job of guarding.
Moorhead off from three. Harding keeps getting pushed to his right.
Terrific on-the-ball defense by the Grizzlies so far.
Chapman trying to beat John Braxton. Backside pass. Last on the baseline. Turnover, Weber State.
Pretty good pass by Braxton. His teammate just couldn't handle it. And there's Ahmaad Rory, who is just automatic from that distance today at 5 of 5 with 13 first half points. Two-time first team All Big Sky Conference. Just playing with such confidence. He's just cutting that heart up and handing pieces out to the rest of his teammates.
Looking at the Weber State huddle. Joe, as a coach, when you're in these types of moments, your team is down by a significant margin as the Wildcats down 17 right now.
So if you're Randy Ray, you're just trying to exhort your guys to come on, let's stay the course and we'll be okay. Just keep guarding, just keep sharing the ball. Trying to go to Cody John now, coming off a double stagger screen, and the Grizzlies quick on the rotations.
Foul on the floor. Chapman got tied up.
John, you just get the sense, the feeling that the Grizzlies' on-ball pressure has just sped the Wildcats up out of their comfort zone offensively. They are literally playing like someone's chasing them on offense, on defense, I mean.
Kick out to John for three, yes.
And a nice pass by Harding, and once again, Harding going left. He's either going to score, he's going to dish it, he's going to make something good happen. And trying to force him right, it might be a lot easier said than done. What a great pass by Rory.
Teardrop falls home for Pritchett.
Rory put that pass through a crack in the door, and a great pickup by Pritchard, making a shot over the 6'8" Chapman.
John got a little bit of distance on Fallens. No foul, no problem. Foul on Montana.
Five team fouls now on both teams. Randy Ray doing a nice job of, especially with his big guys, rotating Kozak, Chapman, and Braxton, keeping two bigs in and rotating the third one out. Randy Ray did a terrific job yesterday. After, at halftime, his team had some pretty serious foul trouble, utilizing his bench, kind of shuffling his cards a little bit, showing every bit the 11-year veteran coach he is.
John, kick over to Nero with 7 on the shot clock. Now Chapman gonna back up on Moorhead. Works inside, left-handed pitch shot off the mark.
Excuse me, I said Randy Ray, the 11-year head coaching veteran. This is his 13th year at Weber State, the dean of all Big Sky coaches.
On the baseline, Manuel step back.
Kendall Manuel, one of the newcomers of the year, a kid who's originally from Billings, Montana, went to Oregon State, transferred, and for some reason didn't have to set out a year. A great pickup for Travis DePure and the Grizzlies.
Chapman for three, bang! Ricard Chapman, we said this yesterday, as he goes, the Wildcats go. That three brings it back within 13.
And that's what Ricard Chapman can do at 6'8". If you let him catch it in rhythm there. He loves to hang around that three-point line and shoot it in.
Nice play by Nero on the baseline. Wildcats trying to make a little bit of a run. Kozak, that's off the mark.
An unfortunate foul for Harding there, which is his third personal foul. Randy Ray rolling the dice, playing him with a couple fouls, which I agree with before the Grizzlies went away and hid and lost, though, on that roll of the dice as Harding picks up his third foul.
So we're coming up on 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Floater off the glass. Beautiful move for Rory.
Ahmaad Rory hotter than a cheap pistol right now. He is yet to miss a shot.
Three-pointers off the mark for Chapman. Ogine settles up on the baseline before he kicks it out to Pritchett.
Randy Ray's telling his team, telling Cody John, slow it down a little bit. Let's try to get this pace under control, much like they did against Portland State yesterday. A great job in the second half yesterday of dominating defensively, thus letting them gain control of the pace of the game.
10 on the shot clock. Barnes drives it inside. That's off the glass.
Here we go. Watch Rory to Ogine here on the right wing.
Rory's just going to lay it in himself.
Rory now 7 for 7, having a game of his career.
37-20 Montana. John, kick out. Turnover, Weber State. The Wildcats continuing to struggle offensively while Montana enjoying an offensive feast in the first half. Come on back to Boise, right here on 11 Sports, your home for collegiate rugby. 11 Sports, the home for Big Sky basketball. Semifinal action on this Friday night. Winner of this game will match up against the winner of semifinal number 2 between Southern Utah and Eastern Washington.
Weber State now has gone to that 2-3 zone. I said they may need to flash out there, but to no avail. The Grizz get the ball right to the middle of the zone to Saeed Pritchard, who now has 9 points.
Foul down low.
Meanwhile, the Wildcats, led by Kozak, the big sophomore, with 7 points. The Grizzlies led by the red-hot Ahmaad Rory, 7 for 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, 18 points, and let's throw in 3 assists. The worst part is Jarek Harding, the leading scorer, second leading scorer in the league, now has 3 fouls and sitting on the bench.
Nero out top with 14 on the shot clock. Works over to Chapman on the baseline. Kozak, kick out for Cody John. That's hard off the back of the iron.
I tell you, Weber State has not only got nothing easy, they have not got a clean look, I don't think, this entire half. And that's because the Grizzlies are just flying around off their help rotation.
The number 1 defense in the Big Sky, powering Montana to, again, a 19-point lead with 2:06 left to go here in the first half.
And the easiest shot they've had all afternoon, Brakat Chapman, short arms at the rim.
Rory, under 2 to play.
Grizzlies are a little bit tired now. This is about as least energy I've seen them in the game, but that really didn't matter as Kenyo Manuel, the transfer from Oregon State, drills a 3, energy or not. The lead has ballooned to 22.
Under 1:30 to play. Turnover, Weber State. Fast break 3-on-1. Ogine blocked at the rim. Turnover, Montana.
And they did miss an opportunity there. That may be the only mistake I've seen they have made offensively, as Ogine went up and could not come through. Kozik made a nice, tough defensive play there, and it goes off the Grizzlies' foot.
Nero drives inside, lost it. Tipped out of bounds by the Grizzlies. Reminder, coming up at halftime, our halftime interview will feature none other than former Montana great Fabian Krislovic, who will join us here at halftime on 11 Sports. Make sure to stay tuned for that.
And that is the gentleman that Bobby Moorhead of the Grizzlies just tied at 132, the all-time games played at University of Montana.
Nice backside reverse for Chapman.
Chapman making up for that missed easy one, making a nice reverse play there. Chapman at 6'8" with long arms is probably the longest, most talented four-man, meaning the power forward in the Big Sky. Very versatile, he can play two positions.
Barnes picks the pocket over to John. John lays it up off the glass, but no good.
And great pursuit by the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies had 4 white shirts. That was a steal in and around half court. But Cody John got all the way to the rim. That would have been real easy to give up on. 4 white shirts in the paint to rebound that miss.
Grizzlies gonna hold under 10 on the game clock, 5 on the shot. Out top, Ogine. Kicks over. Big three off the mark for Rory.
And Rory's first miss of the game. Rory had been 7 for 7 before that.
Officials heading over to the score table. Take a look to see if it was a shot clock violation or not.
And more impressive, John, than the Grizzlies being up 20, they have held Weber State to 22 first half points.
Well, again, that top-rated defense, they were second in league play, allowing 69.8 points a game, but only 69 points a game allowed throughout the year by Montana. Top-rated defense in the Big Sky Conference. Defense wins championships, or so they say, Joe.
I haven't seen this much energy since I told you we were going to the buffet across the street. You attack that buffet with this same type of energy.
100% all the time. That's how you live life, Joe.
All out all the time. No, unbelievable energy, attention to detail defensively, terrific passing. So impressive by the Grizzlies here in the first 20 minutes. Now can Weber State make the same type magical adjustments that Randy Ray made yesterday at halftime, where they turned a 34-34 tie at halftime, and then they held Portland State to 4 points in the first 10 minutes of the second half yesterday.
John off the mark. Tough first half for Weber State, but the Montana Grizzlies flying high. Grizzlies 22 over Weber State in this Big Sky semifinal. John Oglesby alongside Joe Cravens. And Joe, Randy Ray, what do you think his message was coming out of that halftime break?
Well, I think you got to be very positive with your team and just tell them, let's keep going, let's keep plugging around. As I said, I think my goal would be, okay, with 10 minutes left in the half, we want to be down 10. So we want to win this first 10 minutes and cut 10 points off that 20-point lead. And that's not a great way to start as Saeed Pritchard drills a deep three. But more impressive than the Grizzlies' offense has been their defense. They have held Weber State's top 2 scorers to 2 of 10 shooting. That is Harding's only second field goal of the game. And again, the bad news is he's starting the half with 3 fouls.
Notice there, though, Joe, going to his left.
They've done a nice job of keeping him from getting to his left, forcing him right. And they have harassed Cody John, the second leading scorer on his team, to 1 of 7 shooting and to 5 turnovers.
Offensive foul. Goes against the Grizz.
Weber State shooting 32% that first half. Montana 56. And Again, as impressive as the Grizzlies' offense has been, their defense, just as Weber State's defense was the second half yesterday against Portland State, has got them this 20-point lead.
Harding working on the baseline, gets fouled.
Ahmad Rory has done a great job defensively of staying in front of Jarek Harding. Ahmad Roy, 6'1", 183, and not an ounce of fat on him. Quite the athlete.
Corner three, that's off the front of the iron. Rory going in with the full head of steam. They'll count the goaltend on Zach Braxton, and he's fouled as well.
Very explosive going to his offhand, left hand, and that was not going to go in. And Zach Braxton making a real defensive blunder there, going up and giving him a free two. And Rory now with a chance to get an old-fashioned three-point play and stretch this to 24.
Converts the three-point play.
Watch Rory overplay Harding's left hand, trying to keep him on the right side. Harding so effective going left, not so much going right.
Braxton inside, 8-foot jump hook, found nothing but air.
Good job by the undersized Bobby Moorhead playing post defense. Not much to playing post defense, John. Just stay down and make the guy try to score over you. Sometimes they may, a lot of times they won't.
Falls out top with 11 on the shot clock. Swing it around to Ogine, who tries to drive. Moorhead for three, that's off the mark.
Bobby Moorhead was kind of the designated three-point shooter on last year's team. Now kind of relegated to being a little bit of a role player and not having a great year shooting it in from three, but invaluable to the Grizzlies.
Wildcats able to get something.
Cody John now 2 of 8 for the game. Cody John had a big game yesterday with 17. In fact, he and Harding had 40 points between them, 23 and 17.
Shot off the mark for Rory. Wildcats down by 22. Harding tries to make something happen. Kick out, Chapman three, bang!
And when he's going good, that's what he does. He just hangs out, even at 6'8" with long arms. He hangs out at that three-point line. His teammates find him, and he
Offensive
knocks it
foul.
in.
We got a timeout on the floor. Weber State inching back a little bit right here.
Back-to-back, pretty good plays, a great defensive stop, a finish at the other end. Remember, they were down 20. It went to 23, and now it's back to 19.
Shot off the mark, but we've got a loose ball foul on Timmy Falls.
Big back-to-back tough calls on the Grizzlies, but and this is kind of a little subtle momentum shift here. The Grizzlies are a very veteran team, though. Don't look for this to shake them too much. Of course, Weber State a pretty veteran team too, John. A lot of people I've heard say, well, this is a young Weber State team. Hey, both Chapman and Braxton, fifth-year seniors. Harding and Cody John, both in their third year. Now, they do play some freshmen, but this team has a lot of experience as well, and here we go, back to the monitors again.
Travis DeCure having to be pulled back by his players at midcourt.
Back-to-back tough calls against his team, and I think he just wants to make sure that the referees know they've got his attention, or he's got their attention, one. Now see, these delays like this, I think, helped the Wildcats because it slows Montana down. And, you know, they've played for 20 minutes with great energy and momentum. They came out and started that same way. The Wildcats have made a couple plays. Now we've had 2 reviews that has stopped the game to a complete standstill. I think it's hurt your momentum, John. I got to get you jump-started again.
Yeah, well, game action will do that, I think, for all of us here. However, again, a veteran officiating crew here taking a look at everything.
Nice crowd here. As you said, 2 of the most traditional, successful teams in the Big Sky. 2 of the original members of the 16 Big Sky, which was formed back in 1963, John. Idaho, Idaho State, Montana, Montana State, Weber State, and the one everyone forgets about, the Zags from Gonzaga. A little Big Sky history lesson for you. I wasn't coaching back in '63.
Harding for 3 from the corner. That's off the front of the iron. Step back 3, Manuel, it sticks.
On alternating, that goes to alternating possessions, and that is Weber State's ball.
Wildcats trying to get back into this game. Again, they've cut the lead to 19 inside of Chapman. Stays with Weber State. That leads us to a timeout.
It may be breakfast before we get this one in.
Never know. Montana still up big, but Weber State trying to come back. Follow us at 11 Sports Next and never miss a minute of the action.
And wasn't it last night you and I decided we didn't think we would let her in Quidditch?
Yeah, I just didn't have the natural ability for the game in spite of how hard I worked.
You weren't quite athletic enough for that.
Among other things. Shot off the mark. John out top for 3. That's off the mark.
I thought Cody John really rushed that. I thought he was wide open. Nice man-sized rebound by Bricott Chapman. Flipped it out to John, and again, I didn't think John really had his feet under him as he let that one go.
Ogine out near midcourt. Nice block out of bounds by Braxton.
Between Braxton and Bricott Chapman, they lead, or Weber State leads the league in blocked shots at a little bit over 4.
Grizzlies get it in. 10 on the shot clock. Pritchett gonna back up on Chapman. Double clutch stick on, nothing but air. Inopportune turnover for Weber State.
And the Grizzlies got a break there. Saeed Pritchard's claiming he got fouled on that. He missed that by about 2 feet.
Corner 3, in and out.
Grizzlies have kind of cooled down a little bit from the field. Let's see if Weber State can take advantage and cut in to this 19-point lead.
Inside of Braxton. Foul's going to be on the floor. That'll go against Bobby Moorhead.
5-1 now. 5 fouls on the Grizzlies, 1 on Weber State. And I bet I'm not the only guy that is aware of that. I kind of got a feeling maybe Travis DeCure is seeing the same thing I am. And I'm not saying those fouls shouldn't have been called, but it's just kind of the momentum shift, as I said, has kind of gone a little bit to Weber State.
Well, the Wildcats just right there, Joe. Hustle plays, starting to get more involved on them. They just still can't get shots to fall.
No, they're playing hard, and the pace or the energy level of the Grizzlies has waned a little bit. Because I didn't know if they could play 40 minutes at that same high level that they played the first 20. This is so far in the first 5 or 6 minutes, this has become a little bit of a grinded out type pace.
Kick out to Falls. Drives inside, turnaround jumper in the lanes, off the mark, but he vacuums up his own miss.
Timmy Falls quick off his feet, only 6'2", up with an offensive rebound and laid it up, only a sophomore.
Braxton, backside pass, turnover on the baseline. Up ahead to Rory, backside to Pritchett.
What a terrific play by Rory. Just kind of sucked Bricott Chapman in. Chapman going for a home run block. Rory just very calmly dumped it off for an easy dunk in by Pritchard.
Braxton puts it up off the iron, but it's fouled in the process.
What a good player Ahmaad Rory is. Two-time first-team All-Big Sky Conference, where he was just lighting it up earlier, now kind of content to just distribute the ball. John, he was picked as the preseason player of the year in Big Sky. Of course, that went to Jordan Davis of Northern Colorado, but Ahmaad Rory once again on the first five or the first team All-Big Sky once again.
Braxton sits at the free throw line, nothing but net. Cuts the deficit back to 21.
Talked about Ahmaad Rory's versatility. He's the only guy in the Big Skies that is in the top 15 in scoring, assists, steals, assist to turnover ratio, and he leads the league in assist to turnover ratio.
Rory going to drive inside, blocked and a foul.
Hey, Cody John, no small fella, put a pretty good hit on Rory there, and Rory, like a locomotive, just kind of played through it.
First free throw up and it in. Joe, when it's all said and done, Ahmaad Rory has got to go down as one of the greatest Montana Grizzlies.
You don't have to go too far to convince me. The only kid in the history of the program that scored over 1,500 points in 3 years. Had he played 4 years there, John, he may have had a chance to be a 2,000-point guy. I almost had a chance to lead the Big Sky, be the all-time leading scorer, but Tyler Hall just surpassed 2,500 points for Montana State.
Which shows how incredible that mark is, by the way.
That's a whole bunch of points.
Nero out top with 11 on the shot clock. Free throw jumper, wide left.
Nero given good minutes yesterday off the bench against Portland State, but is struggling offensively here today.
Transition three off the front of the iron for Moorhead. However, Ogine tips it in.
The team's leading rebounder at 6'2", an incredible, almost uncanny knack for rebounding.
Energy picks back up for Montana. Lead up to 25.
They're feeding off this great Montana crowd that's here. There's a bunch of Grizzly fans.
Long two, making a three for Rory. Timeout.
Ahmaad Rory now with his 7th 20-point game this season. He's averaging 14.7, but putting on it. Have not taken this Weber State team for granted as their lead has blossomed to 28 points now.
Got a loose ball foul
on Timmy Falls. 4 on him. Jarek Harding has managed to play this first 8 minutes without picking up his 4th foul, although stuck on 4 points. Jarek Harding, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, 1,500 points. One of the only 8 guys in Weber State history. He's now at 1,600, has 4 points tonight.
Free throw for Doc Nelson, in and out. 28-point lead for Montana.
Weber doing a nice job in their man-to-man defense here, playing with a lot of snap and pop.
Into the corner, Moorhead, bang! Hit it with one on the shot clock.
And Moorhead to that point was 0 for 5 from the three-point line. As I said, he's not shot it real well this year for a kid who's kind of their designated three-point shooter last year.
Push shot for Kozak on the baseline, off the mark. Grizzlies have doubled up Weber State, leading 62-31. Off the mark for Rory. Coming up on 11 and a half to play. Harding lays it up and in, going to his left.
And as I have stated, he is almost unstoppable if you let him get going left. I told him yesterday in our interview, he hit some of the most acrobatic drives I believe I've ever seen.
Battle of the zeros, and Nero picks up the foul. We got a timeout on the floor. Montana up big, 62-33. Come on, Idaho. Also, a friendly reminder, the Boise Airport provides a gateway to the entire Treasure Valley and beyond. Non-stop service from 20 destinations. Visiting Boise should be on the top of your to-do list.
You know, I just love that Boise Airport. In fact, I'm going to go there real early in the morning.
Well, that's the great thing. They got flights all day to destinations all over the country. Kozak for the big three. That's off the mark. Big fella's got a little bit of shooting stroke.
A real telling sign there, John, on that rebound. 4 white uniforms in the paint, not one purple one.
Dorsey lost it off his foot. Chapman will pick it up.
Only the 4th turnover for Montana in the entire game.
Harding spins outside to his left. Kick out. Kozak again from distance. This time again off the mark.
Back-to-back misses for Kozak, who had a double-double yesterday. 7 points, 2 rebounds tonight, and 1 for 3 from the three-point line.
And well off the glass, fouled as he goes up.
And Jarek Harding's 4th foul. Nice little what's called a flex screen and execution for Montana, and I believe 2 things there. The motivation there is to try to get the newcomer of the year, Kendall Manuel, at 6'4", the ball in that cut, but he was being guarded by Jarek Harding, and I think they were going right at Harding, trying to get him to pick up that 4th foul. I believe, which he did. That was on Harding.
Both free throws up and in for Manuel. (66-33). Harding playing with 4 fouls. Randy Ray not much choice at this point. Nero sent a screen for John. John didn't take it. Inside, Kozak lays it up and in. Count it.
What a great pass by Zach Braxton on the right wing out to the three-point line. Kind of hooking a pass in there to big Kozak. Zach Braxton, not usually noted for his passing prowess, really delivered that one. So far, Weber State's 2 leading scorers, Harding and John, with 6 apiece, but held to 5 for 17 between them from the field and 1 of 6 from 3. And Cody John with 5 of the Weber 7 turnovers. And here's that zone that Randy Ray says he doesn't like to play, and they don't play it very well, but kind of like playing Harding with 4 fouls. I don't think they have a lot of choice right now.
Kick out for 3. Manuel, that's in and out. Braxton chases it down.
Great hustle by Braxton, chasing that all the way to the deep corner to get that rebound.
Winner of this game advancing to face the winner of Southern Utah, Eastern Washington. We got a foul down low on Montana.
Okay, we've been talking about the theme of young players in the Big Sky this whole tournament. The big center for Montana right now, Mark Anderson, who I think that foul was on, 6'9", 200 pounds out of Bozeman, Montana, is a terrific young Big Sky big guy, 6'8", with long arms and a real bouncy body. You fans kind of make note of that name. Mac Anderson is going to be a really, really good Big Sky post player.
Braxton misses the free throw.
Braxton now with 5 points and 4 rebounds.
Senior for Weber State, Braxton's been part of a pretty strong run for this Wildcat program over the last 4 years.
Rory's now missed his last 3 shots
And
after
a
going
travel.
7 for 7 to start the game. He's 9 for 13 and 26 points.
29-point lead for Montana. Grizzly fans having a good time. Grizzly players having a good time. Grizzly alums like Fabian Kristelvik having a pretty good time. And it looks like Montana's on their way to having a good time in tomorrow night's championship game with this big lead.
Ahmad Rory only 4 points off of his career high, that being 30 and setting on 26 right now.
Anderson fouled as he goes to the hoop.
And that goal, I said that Randy Ray and his team should set for themselves to cut that 20-point lead down to 10 with 10 minutes in the game. Not very realistic right now, as we're at the 8-minute mark and they're down 29. And let me tell you, the Wildcats have played hard, but the first 20 minutes, the Grizzlies played about as well defensively and with as much emotion and energy as any team I've seen for a long time.
Just nothing coming easy for Weber State.
Well, they have the easiest shot they've gotten all night was that layup that Brakat Chapman missed, but they've gotten almost no clean looks. They've got no layups in transition. Harding has gotten a couple when they've let him get to his left, but he and John, the 2 leading scorers who had 40 between them yesterday, John, have 6 apiece, 12 between them. That's 6 and 6, isn't it? Did that add up to 12?
By my math, yes.
Thank you.
Out top to Ogine. Swinging around to Moorhead for 3. That's off the back of the iron.
You know, Moorhead's stroke didn't even look the same as it did last year. Shooting 30%, which is again, a kid that was noted for his shooting last year. He did drill one a little bit ago, but he is 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. And again, it doesn't even look like the same shot. He really doesn't hold his follow through like he used to.
Inside to Braxton, who's fouled hard on the baseline. So the Grizz rolling and trying to work their way into the Big Sky title game tomorrow night. They're well on their way. We're on our way to a break. We'll be back
tomorrow. But what you don't want to do is put some guys in who foul things up, and you end the game kind of not feeling as good as what you should. So there's a fine line there as to what he will do. But if there's anyone that knows his team, is Travis DeCure. This is a very veteran team.
Free throws from Braxton cuts the lead down to 27.
And Weber remains in their 2-3 zone.
Rory lays it up and in.
Rory now only 2 points away from matching his career high, which is 30. Rory, 28 points on 10 of 14 from the field. Now, John, I just a minute ago, I made the comment his jump shot didn't look the same as it did last year. On his previous shots, he had dropped his hand by his side before that ball hit the rim. That time he held his follow through, stayed in his shot. That looked like the old Bobby Moorhead there. You know how some people are food snobs? I'm kind of a jump shot snob being from Indiana. You know, where I grew up, if you couldn't shoot by the time you're 10, they made you move to Kentucky. And there's that great-looking freshman I talked about.
I think people in Montana are okay with him being in Missoula right now.
That last shot looked terrific. Boy, caught it in rhythm, held that follow through. Again, that's the way he shot it all last year when I saw him.
Braxton with the long two. That's off the mark. Coming up on 6 minutes to play. Montana trying to play their way into the Big Sky Championship game for the second consecutive year.
Wow.
It just can't be that easy. Moorhead again.
Ahmad Rory on an unbelievable penetration move, splitting the double team at the top of that zone, kicking it out. I'm telling you, Ahmad Rory has put on a show, and back-to-back made threes by Bobby Moorhead when he held his follow-through. Terrific pass by Rory.
Lead for Montana's up to 37.
And as you would suspect, a pretty quiet Weber State bench over there.
Moorhead out top, works into Anderson. Anderson working on Braxton.
Nice post defense by Zach Braxton, putting that 240 on the freshman that weighs about 210.
Lost it to Chapman. Fast break 1-on-2. Chapman off the glass, but he'll head to the line.
And that turnover by Timmy Falls was only the 5th for Montana. Weber State with only 8. Weber State really handled it well yesterday. Only 11 turnovers, and 5 of those were by Jared Harding against that full court pressure of Portland State. And Randy Ray, I really tipped my hat to. He just looked at his team, clapped his hands, and said, let's keep playing. Let's go, let's go. There's no way they got a chance to win. They're down a whole bunch, 36. But the coach, the winningest coach in the Big Sky, ever positive, still teaching. Congratulations to Randy Ray.
Falls outside. Moorhead steps back. Braxton for the rebound.
That's not Bobby Moorhead's game, where he's got to try to create a shot off the dribble. And once again, you saw Harding going right, not comfortable there. John, I have said on a couple occasions, I don't think Harding is near as good going right as he is left. I wouldn't want to be the one who tries to keep him from going left, because he is as quick as a hillbilly hiccup when he gets going. Only, they list him 6'1". If he's 6'1", I'm 7 foot.
Manuel out top with 12 on the shot clock. The Grizzlies taking plenty of time on each possession now, as again, you said, Joe, they've played their way into a Big Sky Championship matchup tomorrow against the winner of Eastern Washington and Southern Utah. Harding, backside, Braxton throws it down.
Nice pass by Harding. Ogine and Rory both out of the game now. Look for Pritchard to be the next one to go out. Travis DeCure, though, making sure they finish on a positive note, continue to play good here in the last 4 minutes.
Kick out, Moorhead out top. 8 on the shot clock. Falls, backside, Anderson.
Speaking of good young players, Timmy Falls, just a sophomore out of Dublin, California. The best on-ball defender, Travis DeCure calls him, and that was a terrific pass going to his left.
Chapman for 3, yes.
Scott Chapman, the transfer from University of Utah, a local kid from Roy.
Got a substitution timeout called by Travis DeCure. Throw it to our final break. Montana feeling good on their way to a championship.
To say they've been impressive, it might be the biggest understatement of this basketball season. They have been terrific at both ends of the court. Great effort there by Timmy Falls, taking an uncontested layup away from Zach Braxton. Well, when I say Montana's been impressive at both ends, they're shooting 50% for the game, and they have held Weber State to 32%.
Falls is going to check out. So is Zach Braxton for Weber State.
Zach Braxton coming out of the game for what may be his last collegiate game, and what a terrific career he's had, starting more games than anyone in the history of Weber State basketball. 127 starts. He's 6th on the all-time block list, 6th on the all-time rebounding list, and 16th in scoring. And he has been an outstanding representative for Weber State. And now Rakat Chapman being subbed for, the other big senior on the Weber State team.
Both Chapman and his teammate Braxton have had to go through a lot of adversity in their time at Weber State. Chapman a transfer in, Braxton with numerous injuries.
Getting a little look at the future here with Harding and Cody John on the floor, along with Israel Barnes, a freshman, Dima Zadar, a freshman from Ukraine, and big Donatas Kupas, a freshman from Lithuania. So this could very well be the starting lineup for Weber State next year.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play. Runner off the mark for Kelby Kramer. Cody John drops it over to Harding.
And Montana obviously content to run the shot clock down, up by 31. I don't know what Weber State's low for the year is scoring-wise, but they are on 47. And this is a team that has been scoring a lot of points all year.
John in and out. Reminder coming up at our 11 Sports postgame show coverage. We'll have interviews with the winning head coach. We'll also get a student athlete. Montana just completely dominating this game.
Yeah, but I want to say this one more time. Randy Ray up, still coaching like his team's down 2. I mean, good for him. Good for Randy Ray, the winningest coach in the Big Sky. Not giving up on his team, still staying positive. And like I said, we may be looking at next year's starting 5 with this 5 that they have on the floor right now. The best freshman class Randy Ray says he's ever had at Weber State, this is his 13th year now at Weber State.
We made jokes a little bit earlier about 100%. That's a good way to describe Randy Ray. He's a 100% guy, never quits working,
he's all
never quits
in.
coaching. Israel Barnes with a steal. Barnes gonna lay it in. So Travis DeCuire is going to lead his Montana Grizzlies into the Big Sky Championship game for the second consecutive season. Third time in the last 5 years. Randy Ray and Travis DeCuire meet at center court and embrace. Big fans of each other, those two coaches are. Reminder, coming up here post-game, we are going to have Travis DeCuire, the head coach of the Grizz, as well as a star player from today's game. That's coming up here on the post-game show. So we get ready for that. Welcome you on into post-game. John Oglesby alongside Joe Cravens, where Montana has just defeated Weber State 78-49. Joe Cravens, your early thoughts on this total domination by Montana?
Well, ever so impressive with the Grizzlies' energy level, their maturity level. Ahmaad Rory off the charts tonight with 28 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. The first team All Big Sky guy 2 years in a row. And like you say, they just pretty much dominated Weber State. And Weber State got